You know that feeling, right? When you see someone hoarding something they don't even want, just so nobody else can have it. It's just so frustrating, but it happens all the time. Well, today we're going to dig into exactly what that is. We're going to call it spiteful gatekeeping, and we're going to pick it apart.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Why do we do this? Why do we guard things we don't even want? It feels totally self-defeating. Well, believe it or not, the answer to this really modern problem, it's hiding in a super old story.
All right, let's go back in time. Picture ancient Greece. You know, farms, fields, the whole deal. That's where this story comes from. And trust me, this is way more than just some old fable for kids. It's actually a pretty sharp takedown of a very, very human flaw. So the scene is super simple. You've got a dog, and he's taking a nap on a big pile of hay in a manger. Now here's the key thing. A dog can't eat hay, right? It's completely useless to him as food. For him, it's just a comfy place to sleep.
Okay, so then, along come the cattle. They've been working hard all day, and they are starving. And for them, that hay isn't a bed, it's dinner. It's exactly what they need to get their energy back and keep going. They're the ones who can actually use it.
And this is where it all goes wrong. You'd think the dog would just, move over. But nope. He wakes up and starts snarling and snapping, guarding this hay like it's the best steak he's ever seen. But he's never going to eat it. He's just blocking the cattle from eating for literally no good reason. And that story gives us the perfect name for this whole thing, spiteful gatekeeping. Think about it. It's a total lose-lose situation. The dog doesn't get to eat the hay, the cattle don't get to eat the hay. Nobody wins. The only thing the dog gets is this cheap thrill of being in control, of saying no just because he can.
Okay, so this is not just some dusty old tale about a mean dog. This exact same dynamic, it's happening all around us every single day, in our relationships, with our friends, even at work. Let's take a look at what these everyday managers really look like.
You see this stuff everywhere. Think about it on a personal level. It's that person who stays in a relationship they don't even want anymore just so their ex can't move on and be happy. Or, between friends, that person who won't share a useful contact or a great recipe because they want to keep some kind of weird advantage. And at work, oh man, it's the senior employee who's way too busy for a project but makes sure the junior person can't get it either. You see the pattern here, right? In every single one of these cases, it just leads to waste, bad feelings, and in the end, the gatekeeper ends up all alone.
But why? Really, why do we act like this? What is going on inside our heads when we choose to be the dog in the manger? Well, the psychology here is actually pretty fascinating, and it tells us a ton about our own ego.
Okay, so one way to think about this is as an egoic blockage. Picture this, all the good stuff in life, opportunities, ideas, goodwill, it's all like a flowing river. Now, a healthy person, they're like a channel. The river flows through them, and they help spread it around. But the dog in the manger? They build a dam. They stop the flow. And yeah, they stop it for other people, but here's the kicker. They also cut themselves off from the river. Pretty soon, everything around them just dries up. They're not a channel for good things. They're just a roadblock. And when you put their goals side by side, it becomes crystal clear. The cattle, they want things that create more good in the world. They want to eat so they can work, grow, and be productive. But the dog? His goals are all about ego. It's about control. It's about feeling superior. It's about hoarding something that will just rot away. It's just a completely empty win.
All right, now comes the hard part. It's super easy to see this dog in the manger thing in other people, right? But it's a lot tougher and way more important to ask if maybe, just maybe, we do it ourselves sometimes. So let's turn the mirror around for a second.
I want you to really think about this question. The next time you say no to someone or block their way, ask yourself, is this no coming from a place of real need? Am I protecting something that I genuinely require? Or is there a tiny part of me that just likes the power of being the one who gets to say no? It's a tough one to answer honestly for sure, but it's so important.
And we can even go a little deeper. Let's try a quick 3-step reflection. First, just think for a second. Is there anything you're guarding that you don't really use anymore? Maybe it's an old role at work, an idea you've outgrown, or a spot in a friend group you don't even enjoy. Second, are you holding on to a grudge, not because you're still hurt, but just so you don't have to give someone else the piece of forgiveness? And finally, step 3, try to put yourself in the cattle shoes. Really feel that frustration of being blocked by someone who just doesn't care. Tapping into that empathy can be a huge motivator for change. So seeing the pattern in yourself? That's the huge first step. But what comes next is actively deciding to do something different. This is all about learning how to get up and walk away from the manger, on your own terms. It's about building a mindset of abundance, not scarcity.
And you know, mantras can be a really powerful way to start rewiring your brain. Instead of thinking about hoarding, you can tell yourself, I am a channel for abundance and I celebrate the success of others. Instead of blocking, you can say, I release what I cannot use so that others may thrive. And look, this isn't about letting people walk all over you. It's about being so secure in yourself that you know when to step aside. It's about realizing you can protect your own heart without blocking someone else's sunshine.
So I'm going to leave you with this idea. Go out and really look at the mangers in your own life, the ones you've totally outgrown. Let the hungry eat. Because really, there is no glory in being the king of dry grass. The real power, the true strength, isn't found in blocking someone else's way. It's in knowing what to let go of so that everyone, and that includes you, can finally get what they need to grow.